I've mentioned before that I'm not one of the biggest fans of real estate investment trusts or REITs, and the reason being is because I'm not sure of what their exposure is going to be to the commercial office sector. A lot of times, I think that's why Fundrise might be getting in a little trouble. I actually don't invest in Fundrise. I know people haven't been doing well with them in the last couple, I think in the last year and a half. But there are three that I wanted to show you that I'm watching for next year. I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in and look at their chart and talk a little bit about them. The first one is going to be Camden Property Trust. Now you can see right here is their chart out for 1 year. Let's drop it back down for a month. So here they are just in the last month. They've had some growth right here. They focus primarily on apartment communities. They have 172 apartments with about 59,000 units, primarily across the southern part of the U.S. Now, I like that they're heavily invested in apartments. I think that's a pretty good sector. As you know, rents rarely go down. We did see a little bit of softening in rents, though, in the last few months, and that's pretty typical coming into this time of year. But when you look at the yearly charts, rents are just always going on an upward trajectory, so I really like that. So this is one that I'm watching right here. Keep an eye on it. They're about at $100 right now. Today, they're at $98.32 with a dividend yield of 4.11%, so I really like that. Now, the other one I'm looking at this year is Equity Lifestyle. You can see them under ELS. This is their chart right here for the last year. I kind of like this, this little bit of volatility over the last year. They've been going up and down from 72 down to 64. They primarily focus on manufactured home communities. They have 170,000 sites across 35 states. I know some investors that invest in manufactured home communities. It is a highly profitable segment. Manufactured homes are very expensive to move. When people place their homes, they usually stay there for a long period of time. Manufactured homes aren't subpar quality all the time. Newer ones are actually built to really nice standards. So I think we're going to see a lot of growth in the manufactured home communities. I think this one right here is one you want to be watching. Again, they're called ELS, Equity Lifestyles, and they had a 2.52% dividend yield this year. That's a pretty decent number along with some equity growth. I'm looking at this chart right here and I'm looking for another drop down. Maybe if they can hit down to 68, I think that's going to be a buying opportunity in here. This is the last year. If you look at the last 6 months, you can see they did have a drop down to 62 back at the end of the summer. So if they drop down a little bit more, I'm going to be taking a serious look at this one. Now, the third one I want to talk about is Equity Residential. Their ticker is EQR. They specialize in high-end apartment homes. I really like that. I mean, that's also a big growth market coming out this year. Again, for the same reason as manufactured homes, that is, people sort of drop out of buying higher end or even just regular homes. That want a quality place to live. They're going to be looking at higher end apartment buildings. Let's just go ahead and look. This right here is going to be their chart. Right now, they're at $61. And this is the 3-month chart. Let's change it over just to a 6-month chart or maybe even a 1-year chart. You can see there's some volatility here. I know that they buy in Southern California, San Francisco. They buy in Washington, D.C., New York, and Boston. I do like those markets. I know that there's a lot of bad rap going on for places like San Francisco, California, and Seattle. But those are actually pretty good growth markets. And I think, again, for that same reason that you might see people dropping out of housing and going into higher end apartment homes. So I think these are going to be some really good opportunities. I wanted to show you guys to be paying attention this next year. I know in my channel, I focus primarily on tokenized real estate, and I've done some metaverse stuff. And I've stayed away from talking about REITs. And I already said why. I don't know their exposure necessarily to commercial office space. So that really makes me nervous when they're buying in bulk like that. But I think these residential REITs are going to have some action this year, and I really like them. So I wanted to show those to you guys right now. And if you guys have any other ideas on some REITs that I should be doing some reviews on, or that you've been successful investing in, please leave a comment down below and I will do some research and I'll look at those. And if it's a viable option, I'll go ahead and make a video about that. Thanks, you guys.